Well, here we are at the Fort Worth Museum of Modern Art. I'm going to attempt to conduct a critical evaluation of an assigned artwork and document that process on video by pointing out what I see and then forming an opinion about the subject matter. Then I'll take you through the rationale for my interpretation, and finally we'll see what the experts have said about it. This artwork is a non-objective mural presented on panels presented in three distinct groups. The first group is on the left-hand side. The lower portion of this panel is balanced in size with the upper portion and consists of a polka dot patterned fabric. The hues of these panels are warm and earth tone. The second group consists of a pair of screen doors with images behind the screens. The doors are constructed of wood and hang on rusted barrel hinges. A doorknob with a painted polka dot pattern is placed on the left-hand door. I was told that I could not open the doors. The third group is a collection of more Americana presented on a panel on the right-hand side of the work and accentuated by an aged flashing red beacon, the type one might see on a road barricade or on a construction site. The images on this panel are photos or daguerreotypes of various landscapes, domestic fowl, and cartoons that were popular in the early 70s. Judging from the color and the patterns on the fabric, the images that are marginally perceptible behind the screen doors, and the images that are visible on the right-hand side panel, the work appears to be the type of memorial or a reflection on times past. I think this artwork may be the result of someone reminiscing on their past and knowing that they cannot return to a simpler time. The visible motion of the light draws the viewer from the left-hand panel to the right-hand panel across the work. The viewer can only imagine the scenes behind the screens, and he ends up focusing on the images on the right-hand side of the work. It seems the artist wants to imbue the viewer with a sense of nostalgia and even some curiosity about times past. The artist accomplishes that by using older, simple weathered components, subdued colors and shades, and geometric components arranged symmetrically and in balanced perspective. This work uses all the elements of art: color, value, shapes, forms, texture, and space. Lots of space. It's approximately 7.5 feet tall by 15 feet wide. There's a sense of unity among all three panels, and there's a discernible sense of balance. The panels are approximately equal in size. I think the viewer can recognize the basic concepts of elements and philosophy within quote-unquote art and have a foothold in a new perspective from which the other artwork can be reviewed and appreciated. What did the experts at the Modern Art Museum say about this artwork? Quote, "The array of images and objects comprising a combine often suggest but rarely support a sustained narrative reading. Instead, the elements of Rauschenberg's art trigger associational meanings for each viewer. Still, the will to uncover and decipher an underlying and unifying story is powerful." End quote. This seems to be somewhat congruent with what I observed, but I missed the part where I was supposed to have the will to uncover and decipher the gist of the art. Maybe if I had the opportunity to open the doors, I would have been more curious and considerate. That lack of curiosity might also be attributable to my naivety and lack of exposure to art in general, and to this type of art in particular. Overall, I feel I was able to conduct the interpretation process and come out of that process with a reasonable interpretation of the artwork. I hope you found this video interesting and informative, and I hope that you will try the process for yourself.